Welcome back to round number 2 with Naya Dinosaurs. So round 1 was against Boros Angels, which is a tough matchup because we don't really have too many answers to Lyra. But we pulled it off. Let's see. This is a pretty good hand. It's got plenty of ramp. One payoff, I'll say that with quotations, card, and Brontodon, because he is just ahead of the curve in terms of size. Basic swamp could be a lot of things. I'm guessing it's not green-black, and it is, so I was wrong. Usually those lead off with a forest. Knight of Malice. Okay, I really don't care at all about that. So I can play a Brontodon, and then curve into a Raptor, or I can play ramp spells. I think the best thing for me to do is start playing dinosaurs for them to try to kill. I'd much rather them target the Brontodon with a cast down than my Ripjaw, because Ripjaw is absolutely fantastic against damage-based removal and combat. What is this? A couple different options this turn. Could have played Ripjaw. Could have played Savage Stomp, kill their Brontodon, make mine bigger, and then play a ramp spell. Or I can play 2 ramp spells, pass the turn, and cast Carnage Tyrant next turn. And I like that play the best. I mean, assuming my opponent doesn't kill my creatures. Most of the removal they'd have, I believe they'd rather target Brontodon for anyway. When I have 4 lands in play, I don't think they're really going to prioritize killing my mana dorks. Okay, so Find and Finality is a heck of a card against me. In all my playtesting against green-black, that is the card that beats me. So Find and Finality, 1, 2, 3, 4 is a couple turns away. It will kill everything but Carnage Tyrant. So what I could do is put it on Brontodon so he'd survive too. Only reason I did that on Brontodon is just to protect him from finality. Maybe it wasn't the right play, maybe having an 8/7 hexproof is better, I don't know. Let me know in the chat if you think you'd have done otherwise there. I knew I could not attack profitably. They would have just blocked with the Knight of Malice and the Brontodon. And that would not have ended well for me. Okay. This seems to be a more, strange to say, more value-oriented green-black. I haven't seen any chupacabras, I've just seen efficiently costed creatures. I will gladly trade my Carnage Tyrant for their entire board. Effectively. So 7. Let's see. I get to choose 2. I gotta pick those 2. Sure. They still have a Druid of the Cowl, the 2-mana Lenore Elf in their hand. No idea what's in my opponent's hand, but I'm surprised they'd keep effectively a weenie, a 2/3 on top of their deck. Looks like they're a little starved for lands. Yep, there's a Druid of the Cowl. Okay. Could make a cool play right here. I would be sacrificing 2 of my creatures to draw 2 cards and wipe my opponent's board. That is the reason why I actually play this card. That in conjunction with Ripjaw Raptor is just fantastic. Okay, and then I'll gain 8 life. It's hard for a fair deck to come back from a turn like that, where I spend 3 mana, lose 2 creatures I don't care about, gain 8 life, draw 2 cards. Okay, so up against the fair deck. I think the Clarion is very good based on what we've seen. Savage Stomp also looked good. Carnage Tyrant looks good. Lava Coil could also be a pretty good efficient 1-for-1 removal. And Death Gorge Scavenger can deal with some of the graveyard shenanigans they could be working with. I didn't see any Planeswalkers, but I still like the Immortal Sun in a matchup like this. Just using it as Phyrexian Arena is usually good enough in a matchup like this. So, tonight, I am drinking a Sam Adams White Christmas. Not advertising for it, just letting you know what I'm having. Not as big of a fan. I don't think graveyard shenanigans matter in this matchup that much. I don't think 1-for-1 removal is where I want to be. I think I like that. Notice I side out the Drovers a lot. They're actually the card I've been least impressed with in the deck. I really wish I had more turn 2 ramp, and they're the best I have. I just really don't like how they died to Chain Whirler, and I don't like how they died to my own Deafening Clarion, which I think is, again, one of the reasons to play the deck. Still working a little bit on the sideboard. I've been impressed with the Ixalan's Binding in the matchups I bring it in for. You could argue I won it in this matchup, but I didn't see anything bigger than what I play, and I also didn't see any Planeswalkers, so I didn't feel a need to grab it. In general, the Lava Coil will usually kill anything that in this type of matchup that I've seen so far that Binding would. Banefire has been fantastic against any control matchup. So turn 1 I'll have a tap land, turn 2 I'll untap, play Commune, get another land. Turn 3 I'll have Clarion up. I don't love it. I actually really dislike it. But I'll keep it. Probably know I'm going to top deck a Temple Garden and everything will be fine. Or a basic forest. Either way, I think I have time to be down a turn in a matchup like this. One card I did consider is the Tocatli Honor Guard. I think that's good against their Explorer creatures. I didn't see a full Explorer package. I didn't see much out of the opponent. Wow, I've never only had one option before. Yep. Looks like the opponent's a little landlocked as well. I am curving out pretty nicely, still want to draw a couple more lands, but being able to curve Thrashing Brontodon and the Ripjaw Raptor is absolutely amazing, especially in a situation like this where Deafening Clarion looks like it's going to be at least a 2-for-1. Okay. So, opponent kept his hand. Next turn they have a Carnage Tyrant. Does that defeat me? Do I lose to a Carnage Tyrant? No. Is it worth wiping their board and gaining 3 life this turn, or do I want to progress with Ripjaw Raptor and then wipe their board and gain 3 life? So, if they untap and play a Carnage Tyrant, then I wish I wiped their board now. If they untap and play a bunch of X3s, then I definitely made the right play. Going with a gut check, I think just too much value involved having the Clarion and the Raptor out in the same turn. They did drop the Tyrant, which is the worst case scenario there. Okay, so I can play my own Regisaur. Oh, I kind of like that. I can play my own Regisaur, untap, play a Carnage Tyrant with haste. I can play Clarion, and then attack. And if they jump block, if they block with Carnage Tyrant, their Tyrant dies. If they don't block, well, I just gained 7 life, and I'm going to be winning this race. I think I like that a lot. So if they block, we trade. And if they don't block, then I'm winning the race. If I was playing a different deck, I think the right play would have been to just take the 2 for 1, kill their 2 mana dorks, swing for 3 last turn. But because I am playing a deck that goes bigger than most other decks, I do have my own Carnage Tyrants, I have my own Regisaurs, I think it's correct to take the line where you let your opponent just ramp up and then go from there, simply because a Carnage Tyrant doesn't beat me. That might beat me. That's a lot scarier than other things, but alright. Yeah, I think I just play my own. And then pass. Then next turn I get to Deafening Clarion and swing in, which will wipe their blockers and make my creatures trade with their Carnage Tyrant and their Doom Whisper. Sure. Okay, so Chupacabra is on top. I could ramp into a Regisaur. The Regisaur will die to a Chupacabra. Alright, if I just cast Deafening Clarion right now, they lose these 2 creatures, then I attack. They have to block. They'll block the Carnage Tyrant. Let's say they block the Carnage Tyrant with their Carnage Tyrant, and these 2 get through. That'd be 7, knock them down to 5. They untap, kill a Chupacabra, kill my Ripjaw. They will have their own Carnage Tyrant and a Chupacabra in play, and all I'll have is a Brontodon. But they will be at a very low life total. Is that worth it? I think the right play is to do that and then push the envelope from there. I could choose not to attack with Carnage Tyrant here. But Carnage Tyrant trades with them normally, so I don't really see a need not to. Yeah. Sure. The best part is I just bought myself a ton of time. This is a lot of lifelink. Sure. Two cards on top. Well, we know one's a Chupacabra. So I get to untap and swing in with a Regisaur. And that might be enough to win. Let's count my mana. 3, 4, 5, 6. Reggie will cost 4. I can't do both. Okay. Regisaur was enough. 2-0. Just took down green-black midrange. I will see you in the next one.